So we talked about Jacoby Brissett. We talked about the pretty solid mid-average Colts. We talked about the pretty weak AFC South. But now we're going to talk about two teams that we think are on the rise. We think that can make the next jump into being that super team or that, championship contender team. So we're going to start off with JC. I gassed you. You're not going first. We're going to start off with Joel. Joel, two teams. Who you like? Do you like a future with them? Who do you see as being that championship pedigree team in the next 2-3 seasons?
So to start it off, I think
before you go, I think you should give me an AFC team and an NFC team to make it interesting.
Okay. I got an AFC team in mind right now.
I know exactly who you're going to pick.
I'm currently searching for a NFC team.
See, do you want to go next?
Yeah.
JC, rock it out. Who you got?
For the AFC, a team that I have on the come up is the Buffalo Bills. I think that I was wrong about Josh Allen. He's getting better. Their defense is really, really good.
Can you give me my props?
Yeah, I was bugging for saying that they should get Cam Newton for him.
Thank
I was really wrong. Josh Allen's been playing better. I like Devin Singletary a lot as their running back. I still think they need more. Not more. I think they need a few wide receivers there. Josh Allen's doing it with a bunch of no names that the average football fan doesn't know. But, that team is good. Now, given their schedule has been very light, but I'm banking on Josh Allen taking that next step. Maybe not ever being elite, but being a good quarterback. And then that defense is just ridiculous. I like Tre'Davious White as my favorite player on the team.
NFC, who you got?
On the NFC.
Who you got?
For the come up,
woo,
if they can do things the right way, this is going to sound really funny. Nah, the Cardinals.
I like that pick.
I like Kyler Murray a lot. Same things plaguing the Bills. I think they need a new wide receiver core. They have a bunch of good young receivers. They definitely need a new running back. David Johnson's been hurt for the past 2 years. But and they need to work on their defense too. But just based off their quarterback, I feel like they got the guy. Like I said, maybe not ever to be elite, but to be a good quarterback. So they need a couple receivers. They need a new running back. And if they can tweak around their defense, I can see them in maybe 3-4 years making the playoffs and being a really good team.
Joel, how you doing, sir?
So it's really hard to find an NFC team because unless something drastic happens, I can't imagine any team in the NFC that isn't already good making a jump.
So let me give me two AFC teams then.
I think two AFC teams. My first one is going to go with the team that I've loved since the beginning. Since the start.
I know what you're going to say.
Since they traded Khalil Mack, since they traded Amari Cooper, I love the Raiders.
Oh, my God.
Everybody was overreacting about them. Everybody was saying how, mismanaged they are. Why'd they hire Mike Mayock? He works at NFL Network. John Gruden is ridiculous. I love John Gruden. I've always loved his mic'd ups. I've always loved Mike Mayock's mock drafts. And this year, he had one hell of a draft. You have Max Crosby, a fourth rounder that plays at the end position, who is at about 4.5 or 7 sacks this season. One of those. Anybody can quote me if I'm wrong, but I might be wrong on that. I know it's 4.5 to 7 sacks. Max Crosby is playing phenomenal. He's playing better than Clelin Ferrell, who was the first round pick at the 4th pick. And they have a lot of just grinders. These are players that had to get it from the dirt, and I just love the stuff these guys are made of. Josh Jacobs, he went from homelessness to being arguably one of the best running backs in the NFL right now in his rookie season.
Very true.
These guys have that stuff, and I love Derek Carr. Derek Carr is probably one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL. He's been overlooked because of injuries and because of the Raiders really haven't been that good. Many people were calling for his job, criticizing him, disrespecting his name, and this year he's shutting everybody up. I love the Raiders, and now if we're talking about their future as well, they have a first-round pick this year from that Khalil Mack trade. And based off their track record on how they draft, they're going to draft well. They have cap space. They're going to get more players. John Gruden, I'm predicting within the 10 years that he's signed for $100 million, he's going to win the Super Bowl. Wow. And that's going to be with Derek Carr at quarterback.
Do you see, because you're talking about Derek Carr as one of you would call him an elite quarterback.
He's a
top 10
I don't know.
quarterback.
I don't know if he's an elite quarterback. He's a great quarterback.
Great quarterback. Okay.
Franchise quarterback.
Franchise quarterback,
And there's
okay.
no doubt about
So
it.
with the Derek Carr franchise quarterback, you got Josh Jacob, which is gonna look like the franchise running back. You got Max Crosby. You got Colin Farrell, who's still young.
Tyrell Williams.
Can still get better. You got Tyrell Williams. You got LaMarcus Jr. on defense. So you got some guys out there. Do you see the Raiders overseeding the Chiefs as AFC champs very soon?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I say that because next season, the Chiefs, they're going to have to pay Mahomes. And when they pay Patrick Mahomes, he's going to have $40 million off the books
50.
from the 50. It'll be, if it's 50, if it's 40,
He's dumb.
he's
Pay
going
that
to
man.
take up more than half of the cap, and they're not going to have the money to surround him with the talent. The Raiders, Derek Carr's on one of the friendliest contracts right now, and they're just going to keep building. Their team is going to keep building. They're going to keep having that attitude to them. And John Gruden has won a Super Bowl before. He is this caliber player. He's this type of coach. He's a great coach, and it's showing right now with the Raiders. And I was trying to find a second NFC team. I couldn't really, because when you look at the Cardinals like you picked, you know, you're completely right, and they do have a quarterback now. They're one of the funnest teams to watch.
Definitely.
But the problem with them right now is that
That division is
you
tough.
have the 49ers in front of them. I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. You have the Seahawks in front of them. I
Very
don't
true.
see them slowing down anytime soon. And the other team in that division, it's Seattle. It's
the Rams.
the Rams. You know, they just got acquired Jalen Ramsey. It's going to be really tough. And every other team in that division or in that conference, you look at the Giants, they're a mess. You look at the Redskins, they're a mess. You look at the Bucks, they're a mess. You look at the Falcons, they're a mess. You look at the Panthers, they're a mess. Like, most of these NFC teams are a mess from the bottom.
The Lions
They're
are a
very
mess, too.
top heavy, but they are a mess. You pick the Bills. I don't agree with that. We have our difference in opinions there. I feel like they've had one of the most easiest schedules in the NFL. So I'm going with my team that I have the hat on right now.
Wow.
Adam Gase got a lot of criticism this year. He's not a bad coach. And right now, this you're going to see the first video of somebody actually vouching for Adam Gase. He's 3-4 with Sam Darnold starting the game. They're 3-7 overall. Avery Williamson out for the year, one of our best defenders. C.J. Mosley only played a game. Our second best defender, Inunwa, is out. Osemele made little to no impact. Bell made no impact, is having no impact this year.
True.
This offseason is going to show me what the Jets are going to do moving forward. What Joe Douglas and Adam Gase can do is going to show me. Everybody that has said that the Jets should fire Adam Gase, I don't think you can be more wrong. You have to give this core of Adam Gase and Joe Douglas time to have a draft, to have a free agency, and to see what they can do next year. Sam Darnold finally went to Adam Gase and said, hey, look, I like this. I don't like this. Adam Gase, this past week, made a game plan around him, and we totally demolished the Redskins. Sam Darnold had his best career day, 4 touchdowns, something that Carson Wentz didn't do against them. He didn't throw 4 touchdowns.
Oh my God.
So he made Sam Darnold play like that, and I think that this Sunday is going to tell a lot to me about where the Jets are, where Darnold is, where Gase is when they face the Raiders. So, I mean, I'm going to pick my team, the Jets, but I'm going to be more sure about that pick once this offseason is over with.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that Sam Darnold, the Carson Wentz thing, because we know who's better. Two teams. I agree with you on that NFC thing. The NFC, you got the Eagles, you got the Vikings, you got the Cowboys, you got the Rams, you got the Niners, you got the Seahawks. It's just, you got the Saints. It's just so many top-heavy teams that one team is going to take a couple years for them to make a jump and really surpass those teams who are already set to battle for the NFC for a while. So I'm not even going to go in the NFC. I'm going to jump to the AFC, and JC stole my pick. But I'm going to go with the Bills, and I'm going to kind of go back and forth with you on that one because First game of the season. First game of the season. Let me bring it back to you.
Oh, man.
Josh Allen had one of the worst first halves I've ever seen in my life. Terrible. Bad passes, interceptions, fumbles. The Jets defense was giving it to him. But on the other end, Sam Darnold wasn't really playing that good. He was playing okay, but he wasn't playing like, oh, Sam Darnold. No, he was just like, oh, okay, Sam Darnold. Second half, Josh Allen comes out more composed, more direct. He seems more focused, gets him the dub. Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, they're in the same division. They're going to be in the same division for a while. Both franchise quarterbacks for their respective teams. Josh Allen, I just feel like he's way more talented than Sam Darnold by far. I feel like the defense for the Bills, you got your Darius Wright, only 25 years old. Tremaine Edmonds, he's pretty good. Micah Hyde's 30, nice. But he's a safety. So, they have Devin Singletary. They need receivers to get Josh Allen some plays in. But I do feel like the Bills, they do have an easy schedule, but you got to win easy games. No offense to, I'm actually going to throw a jab at my team and his favorite NFC team. The Cowboys and the Eagles have lost easy games this year, and that's why their records look like that. Lost games against the Falcons, lost games against the Jets, lost games against the Lions. Those teams are teams that should be dominating those teams, have lost easy games. The Bills have beaten easy teams because that's what you're supposed to do when you're a good team. So I definitely have the Bills going in as one of the teams to look for, especially Tom Brady. He looks like he needs to retire. But I definitely have the Bills as one of those teams that definitely come out. My other team in the AFC, it's probably going to have to be, if I had to pick one, if they get a quarterback, okay? So hear me out on this one. If they get a quarterback, I have the Steelers getting back to the top. I like Minkah Fitzpatrick. He came in, he just had just started bowling out. You got T.J. Watt out there. You got a group of guys who like to play together. James Conner is still young. He still has a lot to learn, but he's a pretty good player. Juju Smith is 21? He just turned 21. He's young. He can be an elite go-to receiver. Just got to get more guys out there. I do like the Steelers team. I just feel like they got to get a quarterback. If they get a quarterback, they're gonna be back at the top.
So you're saying you're not riding with Mason Rudolph?
He sucks. He sucks. Yeah, he's not a guy. I would pick 5 college quarterbacks right now over Mason Rudolph. Like 5 legit. I would pick them over him. That's how bad I think Mason Rudolph is probably the 27th best quarterback in the league.